On October 19, 1847, an enormous crowd gathered for celebratory ceremony at Hamilton Square in New York City. The assembly was marking a very special occasion, the laying of the cornerstone for soon-to-be monument honoring George Washington. The date itself was also significant, marking the 66th anniversary of Washington's victory at Yorktown. The crowd had marched from City Hall in Manhattan to a hill in Hamilton Square. Estimates of the assembly's size vary, with some saying more than 250,000 people attended, fully half the city's population at the time. The governor of New York, John Young, and Rhode Island Governor Elisha Harris were at the head of the assembly, as well as the mayors of New York and Brooklyn. New York Chief Justice Samuel Jones and George Washington Parke Custis, whose father had been stepson of President Washington, were also in attendance and would make public speeches that day. Representatives from all groups, classes, and organizations took part in the parade to Hamilton Square. The local militia, firefighters, and police, the Union of American Mechanics, French, German, and Hebrew societies, trade unions for engravers, stonecutters, and sailmakers, children and teachers from the Deaf and Dumb Institute, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, church groups, temperance societies of all stripes, the Masons and Oddfellows, among many others. A carriage containing the cornerstone was the centerpiece of the parade. Pulled by 6 white horses, it was draped in patriotic colors and bunting. A group of 13 girls with liberty caps and wands topped with stars rode inside, along with a bust of Washington. Several speeches were made and songs were sung, including one specially written for the occasion. Then the governor of New York laid the cornerstone. Along with an inscription of dedication on its surface, inside the cornerstone was a leaden box containing in part coins of the day, a city directory, a copy of the Constitution, the day's newspapers, and a certificate that had been signed by President Washington more than a half-century prior. The day had been the culmination of significant campaigning and fundraising. In 1833, a group of New York City citizens formed the Washington Monument Association of the City of New York, a group dedicated to building a monument in the city honoring the nation's first president. It had taken years to raise the funds, but they finally had the cornerstone laid for the grand project. The monument was designed by renowned New York City architect Calvin Pollard. It would be a 425-foot neo-Gothic tower, which would make it by far the tallest structure in the city at the time. It would have an observation room at the top, and a library, art studio, and autograph gallery at its base, containing the signatures of revered and celebrated individuals in the U.S. and from around the world, including one from Jerome Bonaparte, brother of Napoleon. It was estimated that the cost for the completed memorial would run between $500,000 to $1 million. It should be noted that this was a year before construction started on the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., the one which is world famous today. Though renowned as an icon now and still the tallest masonry structure in the world, that project was plagued by financial and administrative problems that led to a 23-year break in construction from 1854 to 1877. The construction interruptions would result in the original design being altered, including the scrapping of plans for a circular colonnade and a statue of Washington driving a chariot, and also led to different quarries being sourced for marble over time, leading to color variations from the base to the top that are still visible today. If DC's monument had a checkered construction history, New York's monument would have none at all. After the grandiose and auspicious cornerstone laying ceremony, the Washington Monument Association would have trouble raising money and would make public appeals asking for donations over the following years, but the funds never fully materialized. In time, Hamilton Square itself would disappear from New York City's maps. Located between 4th and 5th Avenue and 68th and 74th Street today, the park would be carved up and wiped out by 1869, with parts going to the college, the 7th Regiment, and Sinai and Hahnemann hospitals, as well as suburban housing. As for the cornerstone itself, no one quite knows what happened to it, though theories and rumors abound. It may have been incorporated into the foundation of one of the early buildings of Mount Sinai Hospital, or it's been said that Terence Farley, a contractor, took the stone when performing work at Hamilton Square in 1867. It's also possible that it still remains buried underneath the houses and institutions that occupy the former site today, unaware of the forgotten piece of history that they're built upon.